Hi guys, and welcome back to Creative Pet Keeping. My name is Kasha. I am your host, and today I'm going to show you the behind the scenes process of photographing the betta fish fry, or well, juveniles I guess, that will be going for sale very soon. I'm just waiting for the last of the shipping supplies, and I have to finish photographing all of them, and when they become available I will make a video announcement on this channel, so you will know when it happens. Don't worry about it. So I've been experimenting with a lot of different setups until the breeder Flora Aquatics, Mackenzie, she decided to give me advice, and I got the half-gallon Betta View aquarium. It comes with a stand and a bunch of other things, and I have another one back here because I bought two. And it turns out that it's a very good container to photograph your fish in. Now it does have rounded corners, so be sure to kind of try to stay away from photographing your fish from this angle. If you can, try to photograph from this angle to compensate for it. And it does have this derpy divider that is non-transparent. You can make your own. You could either use the knitting mesh that I use for all the lids to cover up my jars right here, so you could probably use that, or you can probably get something cut from plexiglass, whatever works for you. In my case, just to keep track of which fish is which, I moved the labels from their jar. So as you can see, this is koi number 6, this is koi female number 5. I'm using my Phenix Aquarium light. It's the Phenix Stingray 2, I believe. So I'm using that because you'll need a lot of light to light your fish up really well so you can get nice sharp photos. As an added bonus, I also added some tin foil right at the bottom here. And what this does is it reflects the light back up on the fish. So as you can see right here, the little light, that's all the reflection, so it kind of nicely illuminates the fish from top and bottom. And I have this generic white background, which is literally paper. I just put paper back here. Now in this case with these girls, I can try to photograph them with this background, but because they have so much cellophane in them, I also have this light gray color that I got, and I think that will work a lot better for these girls. As you can see, they stand out a bit more. So definitely have some options of different color backgrounds. If you have a fish with a lot of red, sometimes having the green background will make them stand out really well. Browns, grays, blacks, whites, you know, have a little bit of options to play around to better accentuate your fish and really highlight their awesomeness. I also have a male right here, one of my reserved koi males from Patreon. I'm going to be putting him near here to kind of encourage the females to flare. So I'll be swapping out different jars to encourage the fish to do some flaring. I also have a little mirror. Let me open it up because it folds up like this. It's just a dollar store mirror. So it opens up like this. So if I want to flare the fish, I can use this mirror to help encourage them to flare. And I also have this flashlight. Now I can either shine this flashlight to help me help illuminate the fish even more if I need extra light, but it's also a great way to highlight any sheen. A lot of these fish right here, see how reflective they are? You can't really see that glorious sheen unless you shine the light directly at them. So this is what the flashlight will help with. It also helps for me to check which fish have that little shimmer on their fins. This girl actually has some, this one doesn't, so that's one way to be able to check. And I have my camera on a tripod. Found a new tripod. Well, it's not really new. This is a really old tripod, super old, but we found it in storage. So yay for the fact that I have a tripod now because my previous one broke. So this one's really old, but it's well made and it's really smooth to turn it. So it's really nice. I'm actually really happy with it. What I have is my Canon M5 that I got as a gift for Christmas, and the basic kit lens that comes with it. I use that for just basic general photos, as well as filming, because I will be filming clips of the fish as well. So A, I can have it for a video, B, I can have it for memories, and sometimes it's a little better to see a fish on video versus in a photo. I also have a macro lens right here with an adapter because this lens is a little bit big for the M5. So I use that for filming those really close-up shots of the fins if I really want to, or really get close to the fish. I might not need it for these photos because I'm just kind of trying to take generic photos and videos. Nothing too fancy, just really highlighting how pretty they are. So all of you guys that would like to buy the fish can see what they look like, but it's also a great way for me to document what kind of fish I had in my first spawn. I'm just going to include some clips of some of the other experiments I've tried with using different containers, as well as trying to film my fish in fish tanks as well, because I've been trying a bunch of different containers. I'm kind of happiest with this. So on to the clips. I started off with trying the jars, but they're rounded on all edges and it's really hard to get the right angle to get the entire fish without warping it. My second choice was to try to film in an aquarium. I have a 5.5 gallon, which is the smallest tank. I divided that in half to make it a little smaller, and while the fish was very evenly lit and it was very easy to film, and I got some nice photos because of it, it was kind of a pain in the butt to take apart and put down whenever I needed to take photos, and it was more difficult to catch the fish, as well as it took the fish longer to acclimate to such a large space, which was intimidating to some of the juveniles. Before giving up on the tank idea, I did try to put females in jars, which kind of worked but kind of didn't. The fish swam all around the jars, so to get the right photo I had to be in the right place at the right time, but the light did really evenly distribute, which did make it easier to photograph the darker colored fish. My next experiment was using the dollar store jars that are made out of plastic that I recently purchased, because on certain sites they are fairly clear and it is easy to see through them, but unfortunately they have a lot of rounded edges, and as soon as they get close to those edges their bodies become warped, as well as the container does have a seam in the middle. I wish I could have used these because it was less stressful to the fish, as they didn't have to be taken in and out of the container. So yeah, it would have really worked better, but it didn't. I did get one nice photo out of these jars. Per recommendation, I ended up getting the Betta View container, which is a little smaller than the Critter Keepers, which also would have worked pretty well for this, and I think this worked out really well. Before I ended up using my aquarium lights, I did use my lamp, and I found out that that didn't give me enough light, so try to use a high output LED light or aquarium light if possible. So I'm really happy with this setup. It's, you know, not really a fancy photography setup. It's just using a lot of simple things that I have, but it works. And I am going to be photographing all of my fish right now. That's why I haven't made them available for sale yet. I want to first finish photographing that. Then they will become available on my website. My website will be live then. I will make a video about everything, so don't worry, there will be an announcement video. I will keep people updated on Patreon. You can't reserve fish via YouTube comments, Facebook messages, Instagram messages, because it just becomes too many people are contacting me, and I'm getting emails and a bunch of messages from different places, and it becomes really overwhelming. So the only way you could reserve a fish is either through pretty much Patreon, because I am also closing my swaps with breeders, because if too many breeders want fish, I won't have nice fish available for you guys. So I didn't want to swap with too many people this time. So I am closing my swaps for the breeders. I'm only making reservations available on Patreon, and I will update my Patreon supporters very soon with photos so fish can be reserved. And then the rest of the fish can be bought through my website when it becomes available. It's going to be, you know, whoever is first to click on the fish and click buy is going to get it, and I think that is the most fair way to do things. So thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you already haven't, so you don't miss out on future betta and pet related videos. I hope that you enjoyed this little journey of me trying to figure out how to photograph my fish, and I hope that it becomes helpful to you, whether you are a breeder and you want to photograph your fish for sale, or maybe you're just a normal pet owner and you just really want to highlight the glory of your fish and share your fishies with the interwebs so that we may all enjoy the betta splendors. Betta splendens, splendors. Haha.